G'day, welcome back to Doom Mod Wackiness, and as you can see, it's that time of year again. Excuse me. Ramp 2025 is upon us, and it is mapping time. So, this video is going to serve as threefold function to be an update for my ModDB page blog to make people aware that yes, I'm still working on Do Demon's Dream. I haven't abandoned it, but for this month I am going to be focused on more focused on ramp, the map for ramp, rather than level 25, which is still being worked on, but I'm putting most of the effort into this. Secondly, an announcement that I'll be recording the next episode of Plutonia Tribute Quilt, after this. So, and thirdly, to show off what I'm working on for this year's ramp, because I don't think it's right to show off what everyone else is working until the project's complete, but what I'm doing, I have no dramas in showing away, so I don't mind giving off a teaser of the hub as it is now so far. David is doing a fantastic job, as he always does. And just like I did last year, thanks again for even running this project, David. It's amazing. And it's great to be a part of, but I want to go in this zone, the space zone. And if you remember around ramp last year, just after ramp finished, I released a preview of a little work on a TARDIS that was bigger on the inside. I basically took what I'd learnt from doing ramp 2024 and decided to see if I could get a TARDIS that was bigger on the inside, and it worked amazing. And my plan was to go ahead with a total conversion, so it's a full role-playing game where you play a member of the Chancellery Guard, stuck in the Doctor's TARDIS, after I finished Do Demon's Dream. And the reason I was leaving it, I want Do Demon's Dream to be a great WOD, mega WOD, but I also was very scared about getting the time travel aspect working. Well, I'm happy to say that Ramp 2025 served as incentive to try and get that working, to develop a early prototype that I can then develop into a full TC. So this is what I've got so far. I'll let you read the objective. We've got to destroy 3 cyber leaders to stop a time anomaly. I've just added this note in because this TARDIS interior is not finished at all. What is here is largely based on the directions you'll find in the index file on the console. I'll show that off. Sorry, I'm just getting ready to put a timer on because we're supposed to try and make our maps around 10 minutes, so it's not exhausting doing like 6 huge maps in a row. And I think this is about 15 minutes playtime, so I was just preparing a stopwatch. Once we actually start playing, I'll start timing because the timer at the end won't be right because I'm talking. You've probably read this disclaimer by now. The internals was based on the directions of actual rooms and directions given in the show. So it's here, it's not finished, and eventually in the total TC, the total conversion, the TARDIS will have rooms that you'll need to visit and stuff for various objectives. But for now, it's been left here, so for anybody who, like myself, has been a Whovian their whole life and has just longed to explore a TARDIS and is so over the only few video games that even give a TARDIS, allowing you access to the console room, and sure, it's bigger on the inside, but that's not the TARDIS. The TARDIS is really bigger on the inside. So it's here. If you want to explore it, there are goodies hidden away in the various rooms. There might be a megasphere and a blue armor hidden in the TARDIS. I'm not confirming or denying, but there may be. But anyway, let's get into it. I'll finish showing off and then I'll start the timer. It might be a bit out still because I'll probably stop and explain things. Got a fully working scanner. We're in the present at the moment. So we go to the console and we interact with it, and we can go to the index file And as I said, there's directions that were given in episodes, and you will find those rooms at those locations. If you follow those locations inside the TARDIS, you will come across the wardrobe, for example. Pretty interesting. If we go back to the main menu, you'll see that I selected index file. So we've gone to the index file, and there's an entry for index file. How do you find an index file? Of course, if you had an index file, you could look it up into the in the index file under index file, which is an example of recursion and bonus internet points if you get that reference, because 2 of the Doctor's companions literally had that conversation at this console in Castrovolva. But anyway, let's go to the main menu, and we don't need to time travel yet. So I'm going to do this running the route for the actual progression, because you can explore and take any time period you like from the start. So let's start the timer. So we're in the present time zone at the moment, and I actually think that the combat I've got here at the moment is pretty good for easy difficulty. Pretty much this is about 80% done. I've just got to do combat, add in the balance for the combat, and do final detailing, which you'll see in a minute. Like, this is open because it was like a big volcano area in the past. That's all lava, and you'll see that eventually. But the area we're coming up on, that's a heavy Cyberman there. Essentially Cyberman version of a chain gunner. And if you're a Whovian, you'll recognise the cyber drones from David Tennant episode. And yes, I'm going to cheat to get through it, because I can complete it without dying, but I'm partially distracted by babbling, and I want to get that timer right. So you can see I've got some examples of combat in place already. I'm going to get those guys out. Those are heavy Cybermen with rocket launchers. There's a Cyber Scout from a Colin Baker episode. Oops, I should have gone to the TARDIS. Huh. Because there's actually weapons and stuff hidden in the TARDIS. Anybody that wants to explore. But there's weapons scattered out in the actual level, so... But here's an example of an area I haven't finished detailing or adding the combat in properly. Sniffles. Yes, another Cyber Scout. This area here, you can see it's all very flat. I want to put rocky formations and stuff that Cybermen can ambush from. There's some cyber mats. So there's 2 variants of the heavy Cyberman. There's essentially the chain gunner. I did it again. Yeah, there's essentially a chain gunner, and there's a rocket launcher one. And you can tell them apart because they've both got red handlebars, but the rocket launcher dudes have red and black. Like this guy. Like the red handlebars are striped. Now here's an example of why you might want to come to the past before you visit here. There might be a secret cave hidden here that you can only access from the past. These Cybermen are in their cyber tomb, all frozen and dormant. They will not attack, you can't kill them, they don't count to the kill count. But if you come up here, you'll see a yellow key. Oops, this ambush has happened, I forgot about that. Where is he? Yeah, you can do that. That's the dude I'm more worried about. Yellow door, we can't get through yet. Ah! So that's the switch we need to deactivate the cyber tombs, but we don't have. We're in the wrong time period to activate it. Then it's not powered by that switch yet. So I didn't actually need to come to the present either. I should have just gone straight to the future. Although this is where I will get the dev ammo I've got in here. Some weapons. They won't be there when I've finished building it. Get out of there. That's one thing that I can't resolve as of yet. It doesn't block you from getting out of the TARDIS, but it can be a bit sticky sometimes. And I'm not sure how to fix it. Whoa, there you are. Thought there was another one of them around. And you can see how this cave area has changed. This is not the final texturing. This is just so I know that this is been taken over by the cyber base at this point. So the cyber drones, as you can see with the blue flames rockets, they shoot at you. The other ones essentially act like lost souls. I added in those flames to make them stand out a bit better, read a bit easier, because they were a bit hard to see once they got a certain distance away. They let this cyber mat attack, so you can see what its attack does. More rocket dudes. So that little cave I was talking about. Oh, what about him? That cave I was talking about down here might have a secret in it that's very beneficial for what's about to come up. Because we come up here, there's our blue door. This area is an example of an area that hasn't been finished. It's not detailed or anything. But now we're at that switch again, and because we're in the future, we've actually deactivated the cyber tombs. So we need to go down there. Watch out for the rocket, guys. Now we got the yellow key card, and if we go back to the not the past time zone, but the past in the timeline, that is to the present day, which is where we're about to head because we need that yellow door. That yellow key is still in that cyber tomb because it's in the past. That event hasn't happened yet when you go to that period of time. Now we need to go to the present. We go into that yellow room, and this is another example of a room that isn't finished yet. It's not fully detailed. Once you've visited the cyber tomb, cyber base in each time period, the shortcut unlocks. So here's our red key, and the first of the cyber leaders. Now we've got to go take the red key, and it's very clear where we have to go, because if you come up here to where the red door is, it's open in the future and the present. which means that you've visited it in the past. So we need to go to the past to get the key that it holds. And now you get to see that lava will hurt very badly. The chain gun is definitely much more effective against those things. You can't skip the trap because the same trap happens here in this time zone. If you do that, it just triggers anyway. Ouch! Now eventually when I do finish Two Demons Dream and start working on this proper, I'm going to replace all the weapons, all the enemies. And I eventually want to very slowly create a whole bunch of custom textures. Now we go up here, open the red door, and I guess it's not very fair to come and visit the past and not show how the base looks here, because the Cybermen have only just landed in their landing ship. This is supposed to be the ship from Nemesis, the Silver Nemesis. So I've got some finagling to do to get it right. But you can see the base is on no alert. If we come down here, you can see they've only just started construction on the Cyber Tombs. There's a Berserk up there, little mining machine, and if we activate it, I'm not saying there might be a secret there, but there might be a secret there. We come up here and the yellow door is, well, it's still mostly cave. And I didn't go up here in the present. There's a rocket launcher there in the present. Cybernats. This cave's pretty deadly. It gives you the plasma gun if you don't find the plasma gun in the TARDIS. Anyway, we got the blue key from here, so now we have to go back to the future. Unintended movie title reference intended. And the scanner works for every time zone too. Oops, shortcut. 12 minutes, that's pretty good, and I've been dying a couple of times, but like I can actually beat it without dying. So yeah, that's excellent. So it might take a first time player a little bit longer than it to complete, but that's pretty good. That's about the time frame. And medium and hard difficulties will maybe be 15 minutes. I had to actually cut down a lot of my idea for the level, because it sort of hit me that so 13 minutes 36 that took. Yeah, it kind of hit me after I'd started constructing the 3 time zones, and the level. I was going to make this really nice elaborate base and cave system and whatnot, and then I realised the player has to explore through that same map 3 times for each time zone, which might be great for a role-playing game where I can put in lots of different puzzles where you have to switch time zones to solve it. But for ramp, uh, it's going to get extravagantly too long. So yeah, I've had to cull it down. I actually deleted an entire tunnel system leading down to the cyber base from where the TARDIS is. And yeah, just got a little bit to go. Get the combat in. I've got to look at the next 2 keys. So I've got the traps and everything for the yellow key. I've got to look at the red and blue keys and put traps in there. Finish detailing the cyber ship and the area around it. But that's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you in Plutonia Tribute Quilt.